Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Grimoire Sunday. It is me, your creative wizard, and I'm just excited to share this first full moon with you guys for 2026. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reading for you guys, and I just want to invite you to just take a moment to just breathe in this beautiful energy that is available for us. It is raining outside. It's a beautiful, gentle, soft energy here. And in the southern hemisphere, we don't necessarily have the traditions of calling the full moon specific names. In the northern hemisphere, this is known as the wolf moon, and it's deep winter, and I send lots of warmth and love to everyone in the northern hemisphere. But for us here in the southern hemisphere, it has a different energy. And one of the witches that I follow has sort of invited me to name the full moon myself and the consequential full moon. So down under in Australia, they call this the thunder moon or the lavender moon, and I actually quite resonate with that. Last night during the full moon we had a beautiful thunderstorm, and that is the rain that is still falling outside, and there's a beautiful lavender bush just in front of the window, and I do love lavender. It's one of my personal favorites. So last night during the lavender thunder full moon, the first full moon and super moon for 2026, I took an opportunity to just really ground myself emotionally in the present moment. And one of the things that we were invited to do is to remove something, to take something off that we would normally wear. And for me, this would be this beautiful bronze bracelet. Every time I talk about this bracelet, I forget what it's called. So I took this bracelet off because it is something that I do wear every day, and I did place it in the full moon last night after cleansing it beautifully. And I also placed a piece of beautiful selenite in the center that represents that full moon energy. And I also surrounded it with beautiful rose quartz stones, and usually these rose quartz stones are here on this small little altar that you will always see on my table. And now I'm bringing this beautiful loving energy to our table for today as I do a beautiful reading for us. So I'm just going to leave my bracelet there. I will put it on later. So that is something that I can invite you to try for yourself. Maybe a wedding ring or a piece of jewelry that you wear daily that's really personal to you and very close to you. Now's the time to remove it, to cleanse it, and to charge it under this full moon with fresh intentions. And when you put it on again, then it becomes like an amulet that you can wear, that is helping you to stay grounded and energized with this beautiful full moon energy. Right, so while we are in this beautiful full moon energy, I'm going to do a full moon reading for the paying tiers on my Patreon, and that is the artistic ones, the creative potions, and the transfiguration tiers, as well as the wizard's apprentice tier. And this is going to be my full moon reading for this first full moon of 2026. And I'm just going to be drawing 3 cards to ask the spirit animal guides to just guide us with some clarity and insight and wisdom for this very emotional period that we are integrating our own emotional truth. Right, and the first card is the Panther Spirit, and it's upside down, so it's giving us a very particular reading. So the Panther Spirit is here to remind us to reclaim your power. And the message we want to focus on is the following. Are you feeling shaky because you have made a bold move and have not yet seen confirmation that everything is going to work out? Or is fear holding you back? Are you afraid to act until all risk of failure has been removed? The moment when there is no risk whatsoever will never come. So follow the urging of your Panther Spirit within and look your fear in the eye. Have you ever heard the famous line, the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself? Stare down your fear and it will retreat and make way for your courage to fill your head and fill you from head to toe. Perhaps you are afraid you can't trust the power that is rising within you, and you fear qualities you will find within when you look deeply at why you resist the challenge before you. Every part of you, no matter how dark it may seem, has a light quality, so be bold and face it. Own the light and make peace with your shadow. Trust spirit within you to be brave and trust yourself. Really, really very relevant for what we are facing right now. I think all of these cards are going to face upside down. Then we have the Hawk Spirit, 32, but we are looking at the inverted message, and there's a reason why they are inverted today. 32. So the Hawk Spirit's message is let your spirit be your guide. And its protective message is, are you noticing red flags? Perhaps saying to yourself, oh, what pretty flags, and giving them no more thought. Hawk Spirit has arrived to tell you to stop and listen to the messages from your spirit. Take the time to observe the patterns that you are seeing and do not dismiss your intuition, even if the messages you receive are not supported by evidence in the physical world. If it feels illogical to listen right now, listen anyway. Sometimes you might want certain signs and messages to mean what you want them to mean, interpreting through the lens of wishful thinking, a projection of your desire to see things in a certain way. Of course, when you do that, you really find yourself where you want to be. Take heart. Spirit loves you so much and does not want you to get hurt, but to align with Spirit's plan for your highest good. Listen and follow the signs, and check your motives when you are being selective of your hearing. Okay, that is a really profound message. Stag Spirit. Beautiful, beautiful image. This is the image on the front of the box. 58. Let's go there quickly. I'll be listening to the beautiful rain falling outside. Stag Spirit says, take the lead. Whether or not you have set your intention to lead, you may have found yourself suddenly called to step up to the forefront of your life. Stag Spirit is a reminder that now is the time to heed the call to be sure, strong and compassionate. Others will look to you, and you have it within you to see through the eyes of Stag Spirit and walk with confidence as you take on the responsibilities that are yours now and model integrity in all that you do and in all your relationships. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. Stag Spirit wants you to know that your responsibilities now are to yourself too. The best in you is coming into view as you step forward with strength, knowing that Spirit supports you as you compassionately take the lead. You are a model for transformation now, sharing your experience, strength and hope with others, so that they may know and grow and discover their best selves too. What a gift you are. Stay humble and authentic and walk your talk, for this is how a wise leader leads. That is just absolutely beautiful. I think I couldn't have asked for a better message for us during this full moon. It completely resonates with the Cancer and opposing Capricorn energies during this time. And these opposing energies, the one very structured in Capricorn, wanting action and precision, and Cancer that is all about emotion and the home and the safe place, the emotional spirit. When these two come together, we have a security and a structure that gives us a very good place to be in, and from that point of strength to share our gifts with the world. So maybe ask yourself, where are you maybe stepping away or shying away from your power and standing in your power during this time? I know that a new year in front of you can feel daunting, overwhelming, and there are so many things that is happening at the same time now. I'm resonating with this because it's like coming out of a resting phase, if you were lucky enough to have a bit of a break over this festive season, and now preparing to go back to work or to get back into the activities of the year. It can feel, daunting, overwhelming, and a little bit too much to go from this resting cocoon kind of feeling and throw yourself back out there in the world and get into the rhythm of the grind. But during this time, I want to remind you that even though this is the beginning of the year, this particular energy right now is not about manifestation. It is not about looking at goals and whatever, and it feels like a counter to intuitive message that I'm giving to you, because we are in a cusp. We are between the year of the snake and the year of the fire horse, and yes, it is time to begin to sort of get your ducks in a row and become very aware of where it is that you are headed, because all of these cards are reminding us to stand in our power. Like the hawk spirit is saying, let your spirit be your guide. Do not be afraid, because you're not standing alone. But right now is not the time for action. It is the time of awareness. Like the panther moves very quietly through the forest, barely making a noise, blending in with its surroundings, observing and waiting patiently for the right time to strike. So the hawk is flying above us and has a higher perspective of what is going on, what is the lay of the land. And in that, prepare yourself to step forward and take action. The stag is here to connect us with the horse energy for the year, and it wants you to stand in your power and to take the lead with an authentic spirit, and to lead from your heart and not from your head, to lead by example and not just by word, but through action. This is really beautiful, and I just want to thank the spirit animals for bringing us such beautiful clarity. I also noticed that the first card's number is 44. 44 is a master number that is reminding us that we are loved and we are supported. The hawk spirit is the number 5, and that really talks about balance between all the elements. And again, 58 is the number 4 when you add them all together. So it sort of brings this energy of love and of groundedness together to the foreground for our reading. So this is the energy that is available to us during the month of January. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Allow awareness to guide you. Instead of pushing the river and forcefully, trying to take your life into a specific direction, I want to encourage you to really take this time really more towards awareness, becoming aware of what it is that you need emotionally, and through that to recognize where you stand in all your relationships. Is it authentic? Are you overgiving? Does your life and relationships need maybe stronger boundaries? Where are you compromising yourself in some way, shape or form that you believe that this is a sort of caring way, a loving way, but in the end it really is a self-denial, or you are actually harming yourself? Because there is not a balance in the relationships that you have in your life. So just take a look at your relationships, see how you show up in those relationships, and really just sense with yourself. Become aware of yourself and your energy and your frequency, and allow your intuition and your spirit to guide you. Because there are a lot of things that is happening in the world right now, and I want you to really be mindful of what you place your attention on, what you focus on, because what we focus on, there are energy flows, and if we are focusing on conflict and war and drama and things that we're no longer in alignment with, then we stay sort of stuck in those timelines, and it keeps sort of reoccurring, and it keeps interfering with our path. So be very mindful what you open yourself up to and what you allow your spirit to be contaminated with. Don't spend too much time in negative, dark places at this present moment, and that includes things like television, social media, clubs, places of dense energy that is based in desperation, that is based in fear, that is based in lust for power and for control and for immediate gratification, because these spaces are of a vibration that is very dense, and we are trying to just keep our path and our journey towards personal alignment, clarity, authenticity, and a frequency of integration and unification. This period that we are now sitting in is still part of an integration phase. We are integrating the messages and the lessons that we've learned through the year of the snake. And even though it felt like a fast-paced year, it was actually also a slow-moving year. A lot of our goals that we had for last year, it might have felt like it took forever to complete those goals. Goals that were in alignment with the ending of a cycle was brought to the forefront, but goals that were based in long-term goals and actions that we need to take, that is future-based, really like in the next 10 years or so, those kind of life goals might have felt like it took a back seat. But in 2026, that is turning around. We wrapped up what needed to be wrapped up last year, but going forward in this year, it is now about looking forward at what it is that we want to achieve long term over the next 9 years or so, and to become very clear about the direction that we want to take our lives in. And if we work with the flow, if we work with the waves, like I'm working with the moon energy this year, then you bring yourself into alignment with the cosmic energies as well, which is then making it easier to flow rather than just to haphazardly work on some goals and not understanding why it's not necessarily working out. So a personal word for me this year is flow. So you could ask yourself, what is your personal word for 2026? What is a word that's going to remind you, a true north, something that you can remind yourself whenever you feel, an energy that you are trying to overcome, or a frequency that you're trying to dismantle? What are you stepping into in 2026 that you want to own, and this is your intention and your frequency that you want to hold for 2026? For me, that word is flow, and I chose the word flow because I want to practice to just surrender and to go with the flow, not to try to control everything, to control how the river flows, how fast it flows, where it flows, but rather to surrender to the flow and allow that grace and ease to carry me to where I want to be. So there is a cooperation, there is a stepping into a new timeline frequency for me, and I want to encourage you to find a word that is your own personal mantra for 2026. And make sure that that word is in alignment frequency-wise, energy-wise, with your goals moving forward. So do give that some thought. Right. So that is just beautiful. I'm going to leave that messages there for you guys. I will share a photo of that. I just want to put my things to the side because now I want to bring my grimoire out. Just gonna place my I don't know where to put them. Let's put them here. I just don't want them to get dirty with paint and things. So I'm gonna move my beautiful altar to the side. There we go. With our 3 lovely cards that is speaking to us early in this beautiful 2026. So if you haven't seen me, cheers to 2026. I really wish that this is a year of beautiful alignment for all of us. So yesterday during the full moon, I was just playing in my art studio. This was a personal sort of session for me, and I came to my art studio and my art supplies, and I was asking myself, okay, do I want to continue forming the horse that I'm busy producing, the horse spirit animal guide? Do I want to start a new painting? What do I want to do? And I realized that in that moment I was thinking production. I was thinking I must do something. I'm feeling like I'm not doing something, and that feeling of not producing is something that I deal with out of my past. I grew up in a home where it was very easily sort of said that you are lazy if you're not doing something productive, and I became aware of that sort of timeline, that frequency, and I don't like that feeling because it's not in alignment with my truth. We don't always have to be productive. We don't always have to do something in order to say, look, I used my time wisely and I created something, or I produced something that can show that I was productive. So, as I stepped into my studio yesterday, I realized that I needed to do an art session for myself that was speaking more about softness, of integration, of flow. And I thought, how can I experience that frequency of flow and alignment, of softness, of the Cancer full moon energy in an art project that would bring me in alignment with that frequency, that would allow me to fill my time, but not necessarily with productivity or production, but rather with just being present, breathing, allowing, becoming aware, and integrating. So I decided to grab my watercolor paper, and I decided to bring my favorite art materials out, and I sort of chose a very limited color palette. I chose the blues simply to connect with this full moon energy of Cancer, and to connect with water, to connect with the ocean, with the flow of the water element. And I also took this beautiful green gold kind of color to just bring in a little bit of light, and maybe on the other side to connect with the solar energy of Capricorn, that wants structure and commitment and momentum. So I brought these two energies together that are opposing energies. The one is lunar, flowing, emotional, soft, feminine, and the other one is hard, structured, bright, intense, hot. And I needed to marry the two